Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikalavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikalavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikalavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikalavarti Ujjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikalavarti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namah Samaysaraya Swano Bhutya Chakasati Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnana Timirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksu Miritam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkaranada Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavanta Varto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo E Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho upakara jinavarano kundano dhvani devyano jina kunda dhvani apya aho te guru kanano aho bhagavati matano Dhruva achalane anupamagati pamela sarve siddhane vandi kahun sutta kevali bhasita asamaya prabhrata are hu ek suddha sada arupi jnana darasanamay khare kai anyate maru jari paramaru matra nathi are Jam netra tema jnana nati karaka nati vedaka are jnane jakarmoday nirajara bandate majamokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha Jai Jirendra. Today is Wednesday, December 5, 2018, and we are continuing our Swadhay on Samaysar. We are on a 14th stanza, and we have already talked about something on that, so we'll continue from wherever we left out. So I'll bring the slide first. Okay, we were here. Yes, we were over here. So let's start this from here. Slideshow. Okay, so we were talking about 5 different adjectives are used in this stanza. This stanza and next stanza, 2 stanzas, 5 adjectives are used. And for eternal soul substance, 5 separate adjectives are used, and thereby Gurudev is trying to tell us that exactly how the soul substance is different from worldly objects, or what are those worldly objects. They have been defined over here. It simply doesn't say worldly object means whatever we see around, that's a worldly object. No, the alien objects, worldly object means what they are. So first point is abadda spasta, means non-bonded, non-touched. What does it say in that one? Bonded. Bonded means karma particles are closely bonded with the soul. They are so closely associated that till the soul gets liberation, the karma particle stays with the soul. So they are tightly bonded with the soul substance. They occupy the same space unit as a soul substance. And so that word bonded means karma, material karma particle, the knowledge obscuring karma, perception obscuring karma, deluding karma, obstructing karma, name karma, status determining karma, feeling karma, age determining karma. All those 8 types of karma are extremely closely, tightly associated with the soul. So they are called bonded. And then next one is called touch. Touch means there are certain things are staying with the soul, but they are kind of not that tightly bonded, just like the karma particle. So it's called quasi-karma. Quasi-karma means a semi-karma. Semi-karma means kind of weak karma particle. In the literature, they give the definition of quasi-karma. Not literature, but some example is given that what is that quasi-karma. For example, two friends, they are going for stealing something. One is actually doing stealing into the house, and other one is guarding the house door to make sure nobody comes in. So the actual stealing is done by the person who is stealing into the house, and the other guy who is standing at the door, guarding the door, is called the associative things for stealing. So over here, right now, karma particles are called the person who is stealing the things in the house, and quasi-karma like physical body, etc., are called quasi-karma, kind of weak karma. They don't actually help in bonding karma. I mean, they are not bonding. They don't by per se bonds the karma, but they are helping bonding karma. For example, physical body. What does physical body means? Physical body, does it mean that that always makes you bind the karma? Well, I mean, yes, to me or us people, householder people, what happens? Oh, my body's, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I'm too small, too small, I'm too thin, I'm too dark, I'm too light. And these kind of things with the body, I get associated. I gain weight. Now I got to do exercise. I got to cut down the food. I want to lose the weight. So when I get anxiety, when I get associated with it, when I get ownership on the body, then I end up binding the karma. Body per se does not say that, hey, come and get attracted to me. For example, omniscient Lord. Omniscient Lord also has physical body. Those omniscient Lord 24 Tirthankars, at least we include them, so that easier way to recognize. Rishabdev also had a body, Mahavir also had a body, but they did not have any ownership on the body. Simply body is associated with them, that's it. So body is not the reason for binding karma for omniscient Lord. For monks also, those monks who are in 7th and 8th and 9th and 10th Gunstanak, they are totally detached from the physical body. They don't have ownership on the physical body. So physical body per se do not bind karma. So that's why they are called quasi-karma. So they are called touch section. So these are the karma is bonded and physical body and associated thing. Now I'm in the comfort of my house because I would like to have completely air-conditioned house and everything because my body feels comfortable with that. I need to have a car. I need to have business and everything associated with the body. My clothes, I had to have good clothes, and these are all kind of things. They are called quasi-karma. So they are associated with matter, associative matter substance, and they are called quasi-karma. So soul is unbonded, means karma free, and is also untouched, means soul does not depend on a physical body. Association is there, but does not have ownership on it. So Atma abaddaspasta che. That's a very first point that it gives. So over here, what it tries to tell us over here, that point number one, this point represents the nature of the eternal soul substance, free from the substance or free from the other alien objects of the universe. So now here we are talking from substance perspective. We are talking substance perspective, that this soul substance is separate from alien objects of the universe. So it's talking from soul's perspective. Then it will talk from modal perspective. Then it will talk from attributive perspective. So things will start going one at a time that way. So it will just start going deeper and deeper and deeper to say how I am separate from the alien objects of the universe. So soul substance is separate from alien objects like karma, quasi-karma, physical body, and clothes, material, from my car, my business, my family, all those things, I'm separate from it. So that's the first point that Kunkunacharya gives us. Now we are coming to the second point. What is that second point? No, it's still going on. So from bonded and touch perspective, mode is conventional form. Now, do I have a karma associated with me or not? Do I have a physical body with me or not? Yes, they are there. They are not been denied. Their existence is not denied. They are there. But they are not to be given importance. They are there. Yes, if I have a diabetes, I have to take the insulin to make sure your sugar remains okay. That's okay. That's all right. But continuously I have to keep attention to the physical body. That's not the things that is explained over here. So from bonded and touch perspective, modal conventional form, it is modal conventional form. Soul and karma have principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. So karma or the quasi-karma in soul, they both are separate in nature. Just because soul does certain thing and karma is there, so those two things are acting independently. As we have given example in the past, 8 o'clock sharp and the kid comes out of the house, and 8 o'clock sharp the school bus comes. So is it because of school bus comes that kid comes out, or because the kid comes out school bus comes? No, they both are independent, but they both are occurring so closely that it appears that one is reason for the other one. For example, in this example, if the kid came out but he forgot his lunch box, so he goes inside, so he comes 5 minutes late. Or the school bus was coming but got stuck in the traffic, so it came 5 minutes late. It can happen, but usually they both are occurring together, so it appears because kid comes out, bus comes, or because bus comes, kid comes out. So here same way, soul is there and karma is there. Both are doing independently their own action, but it appears that they are occurring because of each other. Because of soul, karma is fruition is there. Because of karma fruition, soul has inclinations. So principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, nimit, naimitic, sambandh. Some of the words we have to get familiarized, because some of the people, when we listen to some people, these kind of words will be used. Naimitic means principle. Nimit means auxiliary cause. So auxiliary cause is nimit and principal cause is naimitic. So those are the things are there. Now, this is to be made secondary. Existence is accepted, but is to be made secondary. And that's a point. Then we'll come back to that point pretty soon. Eternal soul substance, faith to the eternal soul substance is primary event, and that's called a true one, means it's called bhutarth. Again, another word, bhutarth, means true one. My faith to the eternal, indivisible, immutable soul substance. That's a true one. And modal state, even though it's present, it becomes secondary, means non-true, means abhutarth. Remember, those bhutarth and abhutarth word came in the 11th stanza. Same thing. True state is an eternal soul substance, modal state, present but made secondary. So this middle bullet, we are coming back again. They are present but made secondary. Now, if we take the other philosophies And Vedanta is a philosophy that they believe that the Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya means only eternal, everlasting, omnipresent soul substance is a true one, and everything else you see around, they are called illusion. You are illusion, I am illusion, the computer is illusion, light is illusion, picture is illusion, everything that you see is illusion. They are not there. Jainism says, no, we don't say that. We say that they are present. Matter substance is present. Medium of motion is present. Medium of rest, space and time are present. But when we talk eternal soul substance, then they are made secondary. Their presence is accepted. I say, this is my house. Now, you just say, wait a second, this is not your house. Yes, it is my house because it is not yours. Because it is not yours, that's why it is my house. I am the one who is paying mortgage. I have the deed of trust. So I am the one having this house. So that modal state is present. It's present. But when I'm talking eternal soul substance, then I know that even though this house is mine, quote unquote mine, but actually it is not mine. The house is made with the wood and bricks and mortar, etc., etc. I am the eternal soul substance. Knowing that one, then I can say, this is my house. That sentence is not wrong. From modal perspective, it's a right sentence. But when we talk from eternal soul substance, then it becomes secondary, and that's why it becomes non-true state. So this one is Kunkun Acharya Dev has given so beautifully. He has never said that Vedanta says this and we say this, but this is the essence taken out from this kind of thing. So now, if somebody says everything is same, all religions are same, why to fight about it? I believe in humanity. Yes, everybody believes in humanity and everything, but at the same time, if the philosophical principle differs from my point of view, I have to accept that one, and I don't have to argue with everybody. No, you are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong. I'm only right. I'm not here to prove everybody wrong. I'm here to prove who am I. So those are the things from the very first point, we accept that point. Now, so PM means a principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. Now, point number 2 now. First one was soul as a substance. We talk from substance perspective. Now we talk from modal perspective. And the two perspective and modal perspective will come, and we'll talk both at a time. First in this one, example of the clay and earthen pots is given, then the principle is shown. What it means, that from the lump of clay, pot maker makes different types of pots. So this is the clay, and this is the pot maker is sitting with the lump of clay on this circle, and then he's going to give the shape, and then from the shape the kettle will come out, or the pot with the handle will come out, or the pot itself will come out. So these are the different things will come out. But if you just see, there is a lump of clay over here. This is the kettle is one of the mode giving the shape. This kamandal is a shape with a clay present everywhere. This pot, the clay is present in each and every part of it. So what it says, this is the substance. This substance, clay, turned into a mold in the form of kettle, jari, or in the form of kamandal, or in the form of gado. So these three guys are the modes. This guy is a substance. So these are the mode. The different shapes. Different shapes is a mode. Shape is a word to remember over here. Different shape. Different shape. It could be cattle. It could be kamandal. It could be pot. Whatever different shapes are there. But in that one, clay is present in each and every sections of it. So clay and pots are inseparable in nature. If you just say, is there any clay over here? Let me separate the clay from this cattle. No. Let me remove the clay from the kamandal. No. Let me take the clay out of this gado. No. Because they are integral part of it. They are the modal aspect. They are the shape. Different shapes are there, but in that one, the clay is integral part of in this different shapes. Quote unquote, shape is a word to remember here. What happens here? It's called unique. Unique means ananya. Ananya means inseparable. Point number 2 shows inseparability. The pot or the clay are inseparable from each other. Earthen pot and clay are inseparable in nature. You cannot separate both. You can't say that I'm going to take it out, these things. For example, I have a knowledge mode with me, and I'm the all-knowing soul substance. So when there is knowledge mode is there, knowledge mode has an all-knower soul substance present within. Or if other way around, all knower soul substance is spread through every part of the knowledge mode. Just like the earthen pot and clay are inseparable, same way knowledge mode and the all-knowing soul substance are inseparable. Clay is present in the earthen pot, gado, kettle, jari, pot with handle, kamandal, etc. Clay appears to be in different forms in all those pots, etc. That clay appears to be having different shapes, different forms in all those places. This modal form of clay is to be in separate pot, etc. form. So this modal form of clay is a substance, but the modal form of the clay is having different shapes of the pots, etc. that we have seen in the previous slide. So clay does not lose its inseparability and unique nature. Means ananyapanu. Clay and pot, they have inseparability. It's a uniqueness. It's oneness. And that's an ananyapanu. Now, what it says, so modal forms are different, but clay maintains its unique characteristics. Inseparable characteristics is maintained by the clay in those modal form. Clay cannot be separated from the pot, kettle, etc. because clay is an integral part of that one. Substantial form of clay does not come in the modal form of pot, etc. Clay is a substance. Clay is a substance. We are talking matter substance, but substance. So it's a clay is a substance, and all the different shapes that we saw, they are modal form, but they are same. They are the substantial form of clay remains a substance only, and the shape remains a shape only. So shape is a mode and clay is a substance. So substance and mode are inseparable, but still substance remains substance, mode remains mode. There are four people in the family. So then it will be called Shah family or Mehta family or Gosalia family. But when we are talking about the each and every individual person in that family unit has his own characteristics. A child has a childhood characteristics. Young adults has younghood adults adulthood characteristics, and older persons has an older form of characteristics. So they are the one family, but individually they have their own characteristics. So substance of clay does not come in the modal form. So quote unquote Mehta family, Gosalia family, Shah family is a substance, for example. They, even though they have their own quote unquote characteristics of certain way, but individual. One could be a laborer, one could be a clerk, one could be an engineer, one could be a doctor. So they have different characteristics of their own. So mode and substance, even though they have uniqueness, but still they have separability of their own. When one looks at the substantial form of clay, then pot, etc. modes become secondary, thereby non-true state. Again, same thing, the pot existence is accepted. But when we talked about clay as a substance, then those modal form becomes secondary. Their existence is accepted, but then they are made secondary. Now, coming to the point, soul transmigrating in 4 realms of existence. Soul is transmigrating. Soul is over here. It can be in the form of a celestial form, or it could be in the form of human being, or it could be in the form of a subhuman, or it could be in the form of a infernal realm. So soul is a substance. Soul is a substance present, but it could be in the different shape. With different shape, it could be a celestial form, subhuman form, infernal form, or in a form of a human form. So different forms are there, different shapes are there, but even though having those things, soul is the soul person, the soul is the real thing amongst all those things. I, as a soul, has gone to infinite times in all these 4 realms of existence since time infinite in the past, but my soul is still the soul and it has not changed. Now, giving this kind of a point, now Acharya Bhuvan now start dissecting and tells us what does it mean to, by this point, by the uniqueness point, inseparability form. What does it try to tell us? It says that the shape of the celestial, shape of the subhuman, shape of the infernal, or shape of the human, quote unquote shape. I'm stressing the point, shape. Now, yesterday when we had a class, then we had a deep discussion about the modal form. The 2 forms of modal, maybe I may bring that slides, I think. Well, let's try to talk. The mode could be of 2 different types. Mode could be of 2 different types. Mode from a substance also occurs, and mode from attribute also occurs. Remember, a structure of a soul is a substance, infinite attributes, and modes. Substance and attributes are inert, they don't show any changes, and modes are the one which shows the changes within. So activity occurs in the mode. So if we want to understand the whole structure of the soul, we have to know the soul substance, we have to know the attribute, and then we have to know the modes where the action is occurring. The modes are the one showing action. So there are 2 forms of mode. From the substance also a mode occurs, and from the attributes also modes occur. Substance mode occurring from the substance is called Dravya Paryay, or it's called substance mode, and mode coming from attribute is called orthoparya, or is called attributive mode. Substantive mode or attributive mode, two different types of modes. Once again, two different types of mode, one coming from the substance, one coming from the attribute. As there is substance, there is modes occurring. As there is attribute, the modes are occurring from there. Now, the substance mode coming from the substance, it is occurring because a soul has one attribute called extension into space, pradeshatva gun. Because of pradeshatva gun, because of extension into the space attribute, a soul is having some sort of a shape.
Kirit, uncle?
Yes.
All right. Do all guns... Okay. Yeah. Do all guns really have pariyai? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is my understanding that certain guns are nirpeksh guns. They're perfect guns that do not have... that do not have sapeksh dharma. In other words, they're not relative. Yeah. That they are not... they're not based on a comparison to another thing, like astitva gun and vastutva gun and dravya gun. So how can you... Pradeshatva gun I'll buy, and I'm sure there's infinite guns, but like, for example, these very, very basic samanya guns, like astitva, vastutva, dravyatva, do they really have pariyais? And if so, can you explain why?
Okay. Whenever we say pariyai, that means there is every substance and every attribute, they have mode. There cannot be a substance without mode. There cannot be any attribute without any mode. Everything has to have a mode, because the activity of the quote unquote that substance will be perceived in the mode. Activity of that attribute will be perceived in the mode. Now, that mode can be dependent on a karma particle or independent. That's a separate issue. But so it is a substance and attribute, they have to have mode. Dravya paryay, gun paryay, they are part of the integral part of the construction of a soul as a total substance. Now, so they have to have modes of their own. So because dravyatva is a samanya gun. Substancehood is an attribute which is a common attribute present in all the universal substances. So what's the function of the dravyatva gun? To make sure that a substance has a mode and attribute has a mode. So every substance cannot exist without mode. Any mode cannot exist without substance. Any attribute cannot exist without mode. Any mode cannot exist without attribute. So it's an integral part of it. Everything has to have mode. So now your argument is coming and your thought process coming that what happens to Siddha Bhagwan? Does he have mode also? Yes. Siddha Bhagwan also has a mode. Siddha Bhagwan has a substance mode and attributive mode. Both the modes are present. And that's why every Samay, of course, because they are pure and pure and pure and pure, every mode will be pure. But each and every mode will be independent of its own, does not have dependency on anybody else. Just because I have a keval, I have the keval gnan, so my paryay has to be pure. No, paryay comes out pure or impure by itself, so it's independent by itself. But the paryay has to have support of the substance and attribute. So all the substance will have a mode, all the attributes will have a mode. Without mode, a substance cannot exist. If you say that something has no modes at all at a given time, that means that substance did not have mode for that particular time, means even substance is not existing that way. So to substance to exist has to have mode, attribute to exist has to have mode, and mode to have a substance and attribute. So it's integral of each and everything that way. So now your question coming that over here we are talking celestial, means the dravya parya we are talking, mode from the substance perspective we are talking, that mode from substance perspective in the form of a celestial being, or in the form of human being, or in the form of subhuman being, or in the form of infernal being. Now,
Kirit, that's not my question. If you take the most basic gun, astitva gun, where is the pariyai there?
Yeah, it has pariyai because that's why.
Where is it? Can you explain to me where it is?
Okay, because astitva gun, eternal existence attribute is there. That's why each and every moment one mode comes out that proves that I have the present existence. At the same time, I had a past existence and I had a future existence. So I have an eternal existence, and that's why that mode will tell me that yes, I have existence right now.
But that's a mode of the dravya, right? That's not a mode of that gun, is it?
I'm sorry?
Okay, so each pariyai, each mode of the dravya will tell you that it exists because of its astitva gun.
Yes.
It's not pariyai of the gun.
Ankit, can I say something? Like, for example, in Shraddha gun, there's like two positions, right?
This is not binary though. This is astitva gun.
So astitva gun is also binary, right?
Yeah, astitva gun.
Either something exists or it doesn't exist.
Yes.
But that doesn't change though. Shraddha gun. There's a swabhava pariyai and a vibhava pariyai. You can change in Shraddha gun. You don't change in astitva gun. It is what it is, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me just bring that slide. I was trying to avoid the slide, but I had to bring the slide from yesterday's class, because that's why yesterday I was telling that it's very important we have to understand this part pariyai very well. Otherwise, it will give a confusion. So let me bring that one. Modes here. Let me just share. Okay, here we are. Slideshow, current slide. All right, okay. So mode. A mode can be shape modification or attributive, means artha pariyai modification. What does shape modification means? A substance is having extension into space, pradeshatva gun. The mode of this pradeshatva gun is known as shape modification. Because I have pradeshatva gun, that gives me some kind of a shape to any given substance in the universe. For example, I am human shape right now. Where do the human shape come from? That is coming from this shape modification, means vyanjan pariyai. So mode of a given substance means mode of it's called dravya pariyai. So that gives me a shape. So only pradeshatva gun, out of infinite attributes present in the soul, one is taken out, which is called extension into space. And that is the reason for a given substance having some sort of a shape of any kind. This phone has a shape because of the pradeshatva gun. This paper has its own shape because of the pradeshatva gun. My shirt has a shape, glasses has a shape. Pradeshatva gun is making them shape. Now, then you are going to ask, what about the Siddha Bhagwan? Siddha Bhagwan also has quote unquote a shape, and that shape will be the last human life. And last human life means is that monk who is in a standing posture in meditative Khadgasana or sitting posture in meditating Padmasana, and that will be the shape that will be carried, and that will be the shape of the Siddha Bhagavan. So if we see the picture of the Siddha Shila, you'll see some Siddha Bhagavan will be shown standing, some will be sitting posture, and that's a shape. But that shape, that's all it does. It gives shape. It does not have any other relationship with this Artha Paryaya. Means the Rishabdev Bhagwan has a 500 Dhanush height, and Mahavir Swami Bhagwan had only 7 feet height. So the shape is different for both those. Rishabdev is a huge shape and Mahavir is a small shape, but knowledge, etc. is exactly the same. Just like in the Nigot cell, in the infinite attributes are there in Nigot cell. In the same way, infinite attributes are present within me, and same infinite attributes are present in the elephant. So shape has no distinction. Only shape is giving shape of the substance. That's it. It doesn't do anything more than that. So now, so this Pradesha Gun. Hold on, I know your thoughts coming. Let me just go to this slide and the next one, and then we'll just open up the discussion. Now, every other attributes present in the soul, they have modes of their own. So every attribute except for minus extension into space attribute, everything is having the mode. Knowledge has a mode, faith has a mode, conduct has a mode, bliss has a mode, everything has a mode of its own. So those are mode called Gun Paryaya. These are called Dravya Paryaya. Now when we are coming to that, Now, each mode, this shape modification could be in a natural shape modification or alienated shape modification. Same thing is Artha Paryaya could be natural, natural attributive mode or alienated attributive mode. So now your question that Astitva Gun is a pure. Yes, it's a pure in nature, but when it is pure, Astitva Gun is pure over natural shape modification, that will give you Siddha Bhagwan. There is no relationship with anything else. But that Astitva Gun, that Vyanjan Paryaya, that Dravya Paryaya is when there is no relationship with anything else at all, then it is Siddha Bhagwan's shape. But rest of the transmigratory soul, including Aryan Bhagwan, they have alienated shape modification, and that's why either you are human or you are Tyrian or you are subhuman or celestial or infernal being. Same thing over here, Artha Paryaya, your knowledge is pure. In the Siddha Bhagwan, it has no relationship with any karma at all. But in alienated substance, alienated attributive mode, over here, I can have a less knowledge.
You're saying that Astitva Gun has all 4 of these. Astitva Gun has a Swabhav Vyanjan Paryaya, Vibhav Vyanjan Paryaya, Swabhav Artha Paryaya, and the Vibhav Artha Paryaya.
No, that's this will be due to the Pradeshatva Gun.
I understand, but Pradeshatva Gun has each of these 4.
Yes.
Do all Gun have each of these 4?
No, hold it. Pradeshatva is only this 2 part, only this guy, shape. Pradeshatva gives shape, that's it. That it doesn't do anything else besides giving shape.
Okay, so that means that Vyanjan Paryaya only exists in the context of Pradeshatva Gun.
Yes. And everything else is called Artha Paryaya.
So Astitva, Vastutva, Aguru Lagu, all those have
everything Artha Paryaya.
Okay, so that means Astitva Gun has a Swabhav Artha Paryaya and a Vibhav Artha Paryaya?
When I have Astitva, but now you said, what's a modal form of Astitva? In me as a human being, from birth till death. That is my quote-unquote Astitva, transient Astitva. So modal form. but the eternal existence attribute as a substance carries me forever and ever and ever.
Kirit uncle, doesn't Astitva Gun have has no dosh?
No. But
It's nirdosh.
Yeah. But
so then how can, it doesn't have any of those three doshes, so how can it be a Swabhava and a Vibhava Arth Paryay for Astitva Gun?
Because some of the, for example, okay, I'm getting your point. If you just say Astitva Gun from substance perspective, it is pure, it doesn't do anything else. Now, when you say in a modal aspect, when you say, I am a human being, I took the birth today, I died tomorrow, when you say that kind of thing, now you are talking modal form of that, we are talking Artha Paryaya, you are talking. But Astitva is Astitva, Astitva has not done anything else. When your vision is a modal related vision, then you are saying only the transient Astitva you are saying. Because that Astitva Gun also is transient Paryay all the time. Every Samay there is a transient Paryay. So now I am born and I am dead, that's a transiency. So I'm looking at transient aspect. Now, on contrast, when we look at the knowledge aspect, till I get an omniscience knowledge, till I get Keval Gnan, all my modes will have relationship with the karma. So I know what point you are trying to tell me, that why Astitva Gun has a Swabhava Artha Paryaya and Vibhava Artha Paryaya, because it's a modal view, modal point I am saying.
Kirit uncle, Astitva Gun does not extend to a Paryay, does it? Does a Paryay, does a solitary, I'll give you a question. Here's a specific question. A single Paryay in the Virya Gun of some Atma Dharma, some Chetan Dravya.
Yeah.
Does that single Paryay in the Virya Gun of some Chetan Dravya have an Astitva Gun? No. Does it have an Astitva Gun?
Yes. Okay. Now we are going in you raise very, very, very important question. What it is, the Gurudev kept on saying in his pravachans, what he says, that Astitva Gun remains as Astitva Gun, but its effect is felt in every other attribute. For example, knowledge attribute. And I'm talking attribute, remember, I'm not talking mode now, I'm talking attribute. Knowledge attribute is having its own function. Astitva Gun, eternal existence, its own function. They both are separate attribute, but the effect of eternal existence is felt in a knowledge attribute. That's why this knowledge attribute exists for time infinite. Same thing, the Virya Gun. Virya Gun is separate over here, and the knowledge attribute is over here, and Virya Gun's effect is felt in the knowledge attribute, and that's why I end up making more Purusharth or less Purusharth from knowledge aspect. So attribute remains same, but each and every attribute has effect on the other one. And actually, what Gurudev said, and these are your own words, he said that, I extremely try to think for every attribute having effect on all the other substances. And he says, it's not coming in my knowledge, that fact. But in general, yes, each and every attribute has an effect on the other attribute. So knowledge attribute has an effect of Astitva Gun, has an effect of a Vastutva Gun, has effect of the Dravyatva Gun. So each and everybody, it gives the effect on each other, even though they remain separate.
So Kirit uncle and Ankit, is this relevant? I guess what you're asking, Astitva can come in two flavors. Trikari Astitva and then
And
Shanik Astitva.
yes.
Is this what you're talking about, Ankit?
No.
No. His point, I understand his point that he said that they cannot be in the vibhav state. That's what your question is. That astitva gun cannot be in the vibhav state. Now, I will.
But Kirit uncle, Shanik Sat જ્યારે બોલીએ ત્યારે અસ્તિત્વ ગુણનું ક્ષણિક સત બોલીએ પર્યાયમાં ક્ષણિક સત નો પ્રભાવ છે કે I mean isn't that like a vibhav?
Well, no. Okay. When you are talking modal aspect of astitva gun, and when we are talking the substance, attributes form of astitva gun, then the modal aspect is called quote unquote vyavahar nahi, quote unquote conventional state, because it's a modal state compared to the eternal state of the attribute. So that will be called modal form. It will be transient.
So are you saying that there are two different types of paryais for the astitva gun?
No, astitva gun will have its own paryay. It will be okay. It will be having its own paryay of purity, right? That Ankit's point that if they are pure, then they are pure and they are pure. But remember, at the same time, you also have Vyanjan Paryay also along with that Astitva Gun Paryay too. Let's say I have a mode of knowledge right now. That mode of knowledge is making fragmented knowledge of the alien object. I'm looking at a window right now. Well, next moment I'm listening to the sound. Next thing I'm smelling something burning in the kitchen. Next thing I'm tasting something. So it's a fragmented knowledge. So it's a knowledge aspect, but the fragmented knowledge, when it's there, then from the charitra gun, there is a rag coming in the picture. Inclination of attachment comes in the picture. And that's why the fragmented knowledge always has presence of inclination of attachment. So in generally, when we're talking, you can just say modal form of knowledge like Matignan, Sutagnan, they are along with the rag and dvesh. Similarly, over here, if we say astitva is pure by itself, astitva is pure, okay, astitva, but at the same time, the shape modification has an alienated shape modification in the form of human being. So astitva has a pure mode given, but then human being type of alien shape modification, it's effect making that astitva transient in the form of human life only.
Okay, uncle, the human shape in the human body, that pudgal has its own astitva. And that astitva is also without dosh and is also separate and self-contained compared to the astitva of the chetan dravya, no?
Yeah, but
so why are we even bringing both of these into the same conversation?
Because remember,
I get this whole thing is abutart, I get it. But like, why are we even, we're talking about, this is Samaysar, we're talking about the dravya here, right? We're talking about the chetan atma. So where is all this other stuff coming in?
Okay, now remember, one given mode right now, one samay, one mode, right? You accept that, right? One samay, one mode, right?
Yes.
Now, if that mode we take into the lab and dissect that mode, for example, then
that's one mode per gun. That's one mode per gun, correct?
Yeah. So that means that one mode right now I see in me. One samay, one mode. But that mode, when we dissect it out, then it's a subpart. That means all the infinite attribute modes are present in that one samay mode only.
So, Kirit, my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Please, yes.
Is this Chetan Atma has infinite guns. And
yes.
Each of those guns, within each of those corners of those various guns, there are paryais in the Atma, in the Dravya, that are happening. So aren't there infinite paryayas happening in Atma Dravya at any given moment, for any given samay?
Yeah. So if you talk from attributes perspective, one mode for knowledge attribute. Every samay, one knowledge mode is there. Every samay, one faith mode is there. Every samay, one conduct mode is there. But in general, when we look, one samay has one mode only. So all those modes of the attribute are in the inseparable, indivisible form in that one composite mode. So one composite mode has every substance, all the attribute and the substance mode, everything is included in that one.
So that's more bhutarth than what we're seeing here on this slide, correct?
More bhutarth means?
In other words, what we're now doing is we're condensing all of these paryayas that go with these infinite guns and condensing it into, collapsing it into one paryay, which is infinite factorial. Yeah. So that's not what we have on this slide, though, right?
No, that's not sure. No. This is only the classification modes we are showing right now. But yeah, you are. Let me see. I think I may have that slide, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, it's there. Okay, let's talk about. I think it may be too much time to find it out. But for example, there's a white light coming. What is that white light? It's a white light, right? I see a white light only, but when it passes through the prism, you see 7 colors included in that white light. So 7 colors are tightly included in the white light, and I see as a white light only. Similarly, one mode. I see one mode only, but actually that one mode has all the 7 color, means infinite attributes represented in the form of sub-modes. Lack of better words. That they are there. So now this mode, Siddha Bhagwan has this mode, is a pure because everything is pure. All the attributes are pure. In Aryan Bhagwan, the shape modification is still giving shape of the Aryan Bhagwan in the form of body.
So that infinite factorial paryay exists in the Dravya.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So then how can we say that Dravya's Astitva Gun has a paryay? That's my question.
No, because now, when you say Dravya has a, rephrase your question again.
So what we established is that for each samay, that Dravya has one paryay.
Now,
and that paryay is infinitely factorialized.
Yes.
In other words, we've taken an infinite number of guns, each with its own respective quote unquote paryay, collapsed them into a single paryay, which at this point is unique for each samay.
Yes.
Because it represents the contributions of infinite guns within one dravya. So it is a single, unique, sequential paryay, one per samay, that is representative of an infinite collection of guns that are constantly changing in their own ways.
Yes.
Okay. Once again, one singular, infinitely factorial paryay per samay. Now, if that's true, if what I've said is correct, or at least it's abhutarth.
No.
That's correct.
It is correct because you are talking presence of mode. So if we are talking analysis of the mode all alone, then it's a bhutarth. That's a bhutarth thing. That paryay is there. It's not been denied.
Fine. So then how can we, so then if we've accepted that, we've established that, please explain to me how in that framework, Astitva Gun has paryays, has vibhav paryays, swabhav paryays, multiple paryays, etc. Please explain that to me.
Astitva will have its own astitva, for example. Let's put it that way. But when we are talking about the effect of that astitva on, for example, a conduct attribute, then this mode in a transmigratory soul becomes, for us first Gurthana, it will be it's called a wrong conduct mode. In general, you just gave the name, but does that mode exist or not, quote unquote exist or not, transiently existing or not? That is because of eternal existence attribute having mode, giving the transient existence to that mode. Now, your question is, how come that eternal existence mode can be called alienated mode? That's your bottom line question, right?
Sure, we can say that.
Okay, you know what? I will. What we'll do, I will find it out. Next week we will just talk more about it, because I mean, I'm not making it sure about these things, and rather than having confusion and getting too many ways, let's put it over here and we'll discuss that point next week. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let me bring the slides again from where we were. Slideshow. Present slide. Current slide. Okay. So what it says over here, the Pradeshatva Gun, extension into the space attribute. Now it is giving shape. It gives me the celestial life. It gives me celestial life. It gives me human life. It gives me subhuman life. It gives me infernal life. Now, what it is over here to understand, did I get celestial life because of what right now? If we just say, because I did good karma and everything, and fruition of the good karma is coming, and thereafter I became, that's why I became a celestial life. I did a bad karma, so because of the effect of the bad karma, fruition of bad karma, I went to the infernal life, and so on and so forth. So is that true, that because of fruition of karma, I went to celestial life? Is it true that because of effect of fruition of the karma, good karma, I went to celestial life? Is it a true statement in this point number 2 onwards? No, that's not true, because I have a shape modification, means dravya paryay occurring also within me. I am a substance, I'm a soul, and this soul has a shape modification. That shape modification right now is supposed to be in the celestial form. I am the substance, and this substance has a mode that I'm supposed to be in the form of celestial life. So that substance, soul, has decided to be in celestial form, and at that time there is a fruition of karma standing over here, and fruition of karma gave the fluid body karma particle, and as a result I have a celestial form present, or I have a human life present, or I have subhuman or infernal life present. It's not because of fruition of karma, it's because I have Pradeshatva Gun. Pradeshatva Gun has the alienated mode, and that alienated mode was supposed to be in the form of celestial, human, subhuman, infernal. So I, as a soul, is responsible for it. So over here, the difference is, the nitty-gritty point comes that because remember, independence of every universal substance in every form. So why should I become a celestial person? Because of fruition of karma. Why should I become human? Because of fruition of karma? Means I have dependency of fruition of karma. No, it's a shape modification I have it. Dravya paryay I have it. So dravya paryay made me celestial, subhuman, human or infernal life. So shape modification is separated over here. So the modification modes we are talking, modal aspect we are talking, but we are giving importance to the shape modification, not the attributive modification. So this is shape modification we are talking about. Does that thing make sense? Yes?
Yeah.
So the important thing is the independence of substance is so microscopically dissected over here that I become infernal. Kharab karma no uday che etle narak ma gaya. No, not that one. Because that substance, that soul substance has a modification in the form of shape modification, and all the shape modification from time infinite in the past till time infinite in the future, they are predestined, predetermined. So I am supposed to be in human form. That's why I'm human form, because my shape modification coming from the soul was in the human shape. That's why I got the appropriate gross particles and I got a physical body, and so I have a human body, but the human body composes of two things. One is the gross body particle, material particle, and my soul having the substance, the dravya parya in the form of human. Both are combined together, made me as a human. So again, the karma particles or the material particles and the soul substance are again made it separate. That's what is a take-home point on this slide. So that is very, very critical thing, in a critical thinking coming over here, that the independence of the soul is taken to the extent so deep down that there is no place in which one can have a question that this is not making sense. So this is what the independence of. So soul transmigratory 4 realms is occurring because of a dravya paryay. Dravya paryay. And actually at one point Gurudev Sri has said that all 4 types of dravya paryay are existing at a given time, but right now for us, the human mood is taking predominance. That's why I'm in human form. When the next life, it can be celestial or subhuman or infernal. It could be anyone. It could be any shape, any realms of existence I am there, and I will have appropriate body accordingly. But it is decided by me as a soul only. Make sense so far? If there is a question, go ahead. Let's dissect that question. Otherwise, we can go ahead.
No, we're fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
તો પછી સમ્યક દર્શન થાય તો એ કયા પર્સપેક્ટિવ થી કહેવાય છે કે તો પછી નરક ગતિ અને તિર્યંચ ગતિ સમ્યક દ્રષ્ટિ.
જો ભાઈ ગઈકાલે આપણે કહ્યું ને કે શું કહ્યું આપણે ગઈકાલે કે જે દ્રવ્ય પર્યાય છે
આપણે વ્યંજન પર્યાયની વાત કરીએ.
વ્યંજન પર્યાય is the one reason for one to be in one of the 4 transmigratory self, or it could be the fifth gati also, Siddha Dasha. The shape that I will have in Siddha Dasha is because of Vyanjan Paryay. So if I went to the infernal life, then it's for example, Samyak Darshan and the Gati, they have no relationship, for example, because the Srenik Maharaja had a Kshaik Samyaktva. But again, he ended up going to the infernal life. Why? Because his Vyanjan Paryaya was supposed to be in the Narak at the time.
એટલે ખાલી આ કથન પદ્ધતિ છે ખાલી કહેવાને માટે આ વપરાય
No. These are the facts. No, this was
સમ્યક દ્રષ્ટિને સમ્યક દર્શન થયા પછી આયુષ્યનો બંધ પડે તો નરક ગતિ અને તિર્યંચ ગતિ નથી.
No. Yeah. Those are the rules. Those are the facts. Samyak Drashti Jeev, but because Shrenik Maharaja had a bondage of the age determining bondage occurred before he got Kshayik Samyaktva, and that's why he was supposed to be going to 7th Narak, and instead after getting Kshayik Samyaktva, it just changed it within the same realm of existence. Within Narak, from 7th he came to 1st. But Narak Gati will not be changed. Same thing. And now we are on the subject of that one. I can tell you now this is a thing which creates lots of controversy. So, keep that one in mind. If let's say that somebody over here right now gets Ayu Bandh, age determined for next realm of existence. Let's say he is supposed to be human. I'm human and my next gati is going to be human. And it is supposed to be in a Mahavidya Kshetra. Now I end up getting Samyak Darshan. Now what happens? Do I go to Mahavidya Kshetra or not? Remember, gati will be the same. The changes will occur in the gati. For example, the Shrenik Maharaja has bonded Ayu for the 7th hell. Then he got a Kshayik Samkit. So from 7th hell, Ayu came to 1st hell only. But the hell remained. Bondage of hell remained. Same way. If I'm the human being right now and I'm binding the karma for taking birth in Mahavidya Kshetra as a human being in the next life. Now, later on in this life, I am getting Samyak Darshan. Then that Ayu for the human life from Mahavidya will change it to Bhog Bhumi. So that soul will go to Bhog Bhumi. But after Samyak Darshan, you will not go to Mahavidya Kshetra. And as I said, there is lots of Kripaludev is in Mahavidya Kshetra and everything. Well, yes. These are the facts. These are the scriptural facts that we are talking about. So that if we don't have to go in that controversy and argue why not this and that and everything. Gurudev was asked same questions in his life also. That Gurudev, where is Kripaludev right now? Is he in Mahavidya Kshetra or is he in heaven? So Gurudev said, what difference does it make to you? Kripaludev is residing in his own soul right now. So he made that controversy go away by saying that forget about those, why you are getting semantic and just argue about the thing which has no value. His message is more important to me and you rather than he is in Mahavidya Kshetra or Devlok. It doesn't make difference to us. Right? That's a side point, not to worry too much over here. Okay, any other question before we go to the next slide? Same thing it will be representing. Next one. So point number 2, principle. What it says, soul perceived in different realms of existence. Soul is perceived. I'm human, I'm Tiryant, I'm hell, I'm hellish soul, I'm the heavenly soul. So the perceived in different realms of existence. But it can be in the form of human, celestial, infernal, subhuman life. Okay. These are the soul's modal form. The soul's, and some multiple forms are there. I could be human, it's celestial, infernal, so it could be multiple different forms can be present. Eternal true nature of the self remains unique inseparable form. Soul is a unique, it's inseparable, and it remains in its own state. It does not get affected by any kind of realms of existence that person may have at any given time. Soul does not leave its steady, eternal, undivided form. Even though I could be in hell, or I could be in heaven, I could be subhuman, or I could be human, but me as a soul do not leave my steady, eternal, undivided form. Nigot shall we take it up, and Siddha Bhagwan's soul we take it up, and we put both the soul under microscope or whatever reason, we just start analyzing them. As a soul substance, they are unique, they are undivided, they are same, they are eternal, they are not changing. So from substance perspective, everybody is same. And that's why I remember Gurudev Sri at one time on a Kshamavani day said that he gave a very powerful statement, simple statement but powerful statement, that if this soul, me as a Kanji Swami, if this soul has seen anybody in the modal form, that you are Tiriyan, you are Narak, you are Swarg, you are... If I have seen anybody in the modal form, then I ask forgiveness, because everybody from substantial form are the Bhagwan by itself. By saying that statement, he made a radical, amazing, very narrow form of the whole Jain philosophy. The substance is same, everybody is Bhagwan. Multiple modal forms are not perceived in the eternal soul, even though in the soul as a comprehensive thing has a mode, but that mode and soul still remain separate. Even though in the same household, 5 people are living, each one has individuality, and the multiple forms of individuality will not be perceived in the whole house. Our whole family life will have a constant form. So, when one looks from absolute point, then modal forms become secondary. That's a point. Each and every 5 points are there. Same thing will be repeated again and again. The absolute form, when you're looking from absolute form, then modal form are present but are made secondary in nature. Thereby, their conventional form, and thereby the non-true state. Existence is accepted, but they are made non-true state, because we are comparing to the eternal soul substance. So this is the extreme important take-home point, that even as a student of Samaysar, we should not ignore the modal state. Modal state is present. Of course, when I'm talking eternal state, then modal form becomes secondary, but I am a human being. That also I have to keep in mind. I cannot say that I'm an eternal soul substance only in human life, it does not exist. No, they are existing but made secondary. Eternal true nature, undivided and stable, means niyat. But the first ananya, this is ananya form, means undivided, stable nature. It has not come into the divisional form of modal existence. So even though now in this slide, we have entered into the soul substance, and then we are saying, hey, you as a soul, you are eternal in nature, you mortal state, you are transient in nature, and because considering from eternal nature, transiency is to be made secondary and thereby non-true state, but their existence is not denied. That's the important thing we have to consider. So soul's mode by itself as changes of all 4 realms of existence present within. With this existence of all 4 realms of existence is their changes are present in the soul's mode, soul's substance mode, Vyanjan Paryay, Dravya Paryay, that is present within me. Am I going to be human or Tiryanj or heaven or hellish? That thing is present within me as a soul. Because my Vyanjan Paryay, my substance mode, that decides which mode I will be there. And those, yes.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. So I just had a question. I think somewhere in Vachnamrut, I remember reading a letter or listening to someone, Srimad Rajchandra talks about his Suddhata is increasing. And sometimes we talk about that too. Strictly speaking, it doesn't make sense to talk about Suddhata increasing, right? Because that's just judging Paryais that are coming in as either more Sudd and not more Sudd. So, but still we do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
We do that all the time. Like we shift to that kind of perspective.
Because remember, over here, previous slide says, modal state is present. You cannot ignore that modal state. It says that you are present.
I guess my question.
So Shuddhatani Vruddhi Thai. Samvar means the purity beginning. Nirjana means increasing purity. Moksha means completeness of purity. So that purity, we are looking from modal aspect. So Samvar is there, Nirjana is there, Moksha is there. But when we talk eternal soul, substance, then those things will come secondary. So these are the information has to be there with me right now. When I have that kind of information, then anybody speaks from any angle, you have discrimination in your mind that yes, this sentence is presented from modal perspective. And modal perspective is, when you talk modal perspective, it's there.
But I guess my question was, we should recognize it as modal perspective, but not give too much undue importance. કારણ કે આજે વધે છે, કાલે પાછી ઓછી બી થઈ શકે. એમાં ઈ સ્વતંત્ર છે, ઈ રીતે it'll do what it's doing.
Yes.
Right?
So it is not to, I mean, it is except because that's what, as I said, that this is my house. What do you mean by my house? Is this your house? Well, because it's not yours, in that perspective, this is my house. Because if we don't have that modal perspective, then there's no morality in the society. What difference does it make? Whether it's your wife or my wife or somebody else's wife, they are the modal form, and modal form doesn't exist. So what difference does it make that I have relationship with any girl? No. The morality has to be maintained. So modal aspect teaches us morality.
I have problem with that analogy though, because પહેલા તો પરદ્રવ્યની વાત કરીએ છીએ, એમાં તમે માય કરો છો, એટલે તો એમ નહીં, પરદ્રવ્ય નહીં, પણ આપણે સ્વદ્રવ્યની બી વાત કરીએ ને, વ્યવહાર is necessary, is what you're saying. You're arguing that व्यवहार is necessary.
Because,
but all of this with a grain of salt, because you don't have true.
Samaysar is arguing that. Actually, he's not. Samaysar is arguing that.
We don't have true Vevar until we have true Nischay. So
yes.
So all of this with that side note, I guess, right? Footnote.
Yeah. So what basic bottom line, one should not totally ignore the modal aspect. Yes, when I'm living in the day-to-day life, I'm living in modal form, but at the same time, in the back of the mind, I have to know that this is not the true state. My true state is eternal true nature. And when I say that, then my ownership in the alien objects, my rag and dvesh with the alien object will become less and less and less. It's a constant process going on, constant improvement going on. And that's why in the 7th chapter of Moksha Prakasha, it says, Samyak Shanmukh Mithya Drashti, means I am still in the wrong fate state, but now each and every step I'm taking, I'm going towards Samyak Darshan. And so those states are acknowledged, but not to be given undue importance. That's only the thing. That's not true. That's what I mean. Okay, shall we move? Okay. So mode by itself. Okay, now these modes forms are in different forms. These modal forms are in different forms, and those different forms could be the 4 realms of existence in transmigratory state. Eternal true nature of the soul is undivided, does not come in the modal different forms of existence. Eternal soul substance remains eternal, whether it's a nigod, narak, or the liberation form, liberated form. Right faith, as well as omniscience knowledge, of course, in those who directs their attention to the eternal true nature of the self. And bottom line, I need to have right faith. I need to have omniscience knowledge. But of course, that only occurs when I make the modal state secondary. To start with, I have to understand modal state. Now understand, then make it secondary and bring the attention to the eternal true nature of the self. So it includes everything. It accepts the mode. At the same time, when I'm in modal state, I accept it. But when I'm in the further spiritual development state, then modal state becomes secondary. And that's why the eternal soul substance, the attention becomes stronger and stronger. Let's say, okay, I can, if you 5 minutes are there, we can continue. Upon directing attention to the eternal soul substance, the experiencing of the soul occurs. We know that part. That's the right faith. We know that part. He has given up his modal views. Now, modal view were there, but now I gave up modal views. With right faith, different forms of realms of existence in the modal form become secondary, and thereby non-true state. So modal state because of a different realms of existence occurring because of dravya paryay, they become now non-true state. So now the mode over here, we took one part of the mode, which is a dravya paryay, we took it, which is reason for the 4 realms of existence. So that modal state is made secondary and eternal soul substance is made primary. So abadda, aspasta, ananya, this is an ananya section came, second point, ananya. So that is the dravya paryay, the substance mode, that is, or vyanjan paryay is made primary over here for the point of discussion. And from vyanjan paryay aspect, yes, I have 4 realms of existence occurring, but they are modal state to be made secondary and eternal soul substance to be made primary. So this point number 2 is from substance mode, vyanjan paryay mode due to extension into the space, means pradeshatva gun mode, shape modification perspective. So the abadda spasta was 2 different substances was discussed. In the second point, the mode is discussed, but that mode is talked about vyanjan paryay mode aspect, from the pradeshatva gun mode aspect, shape modification aspect. So these are the second point, and I think now the third will start. So we'll start third next week. Any questions so far? And what I'm going to do, Ankit, I'm going to find out that answer, that what you understand, the way I understand the question is that astitva gun being pure, how can we have astitva guns mode can be called alienated mode, right?
Not only pure, but also nirdosh. No vyapti, ati vyapti, asambodh.
Yeah. And I will find it out. You know, I mean, at least I was not able to explain fully, but I'll talk to Hemanbhai today and I'll get the answer, definitely. Okay?
Thank you.
And I'm glad we had a lively discussion. That's really, really great. I mean, that, it's just really nice. Very good. Very nice. Okay. Next week is going to be, what date going to be? 6 and 7, 7. Okay, yeah, I'll be back over here. So we'll be able to continue 13th. Today is 6. In India, today is 6. You have their 5th. 13th. I will be traveling to Songad. We will see. We'll plan it out. I'll send the email. Okay. All right. Thanks. If there's no question, we can do the closing. Okay. Aho upakara jinvarano kundano dvani devyano jina kunda dvani atya aho te guru kanano jina kunda dvani atya aho bhagavati matano javani ke gyan se suje lokano soani mastaka namo sada detamudho. 9 times Namo mantra. Jai Chandra. Thank you. Bye.
Jai Jananda.